We've talked a lot about the Dark Riders on this channel, and one of the biggest takeaways has been that they're not human. But the other day when I was searching the web for SSO lore, I came across this discussion post on your Wikipedia. One thing led to another, and oh my god, we might have missed the biggest plot twist in this franchise. And so did SSO. One thing that really intrigues me about the Dark Riders is that we don't really know what they are or how they work. We've gotten some pretty clear hints along the way that they're immortal and that they're not human, but that's pretty much everything that we have to work with. At the same time, we have these moments in Starshine Legacy where Sabine talks about her family, which really makes you question a lot of things in this franchise. If the Dark Riders have families, then surely they're humans. Unless their families are some sort of alien hybrids. My theory up until this point has been that the Dark Riders are some sort of dark force that takes over a person's body. Just look at what happened to Pi when she got into magic, and how she instantly got cured when we gave her the golden apple. All of that dark witchcraft was not part of her own free will, and I would think that something similar happened to the Dark Riders. So that's kind of been my theory anyway, and it might still count because the story's been rewritten and we don't really know what's going on at the moment. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about Starshine Legacy and possibly the biggest plot twist of this franchise. Lara Raindew, who started this discussion post, pointed out some things that I've never realized before. For example, Sabine is the only one of the Dark Riders who seems to have a family, and everyone in the school knows who she is. I've always assumed that this applies to all the Dark Riders and that they all have families, but Sabine is the only one who ever talks about it. Later on in episode 4, Fripp explains how Garnock's generals are not human, and mentions Mr. Sands, Jessica, and Katya. Sabine, on the other hand, is not mentioned, which indicates that she is, in fact, human. And this is all kind of confusing because why would there be one human Dark Rider? See, this is where the plot twist comes in, because remember what I've said previously about the Dark Riders in Starshine Legacy? In all the illustrations we've been shown in these games, we have been shown 3 generals. 3. Mr. Sands, Jessica, and Katya. Are you telling me? Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. Sabine was not only human, but she was never even the villain. She was never a general, she was never a Dark Rider, and she was never a member of Dark Corps. Now hold on just a minute. That can't be right. Sabine injured Starshine, locked the Soul Riders in the stables, and chased us down in the woods. Of course she's the villain. See, that's what they want us to think. In reality, it's all a mislead. Starshine doesn't react to Sabine at all. He reacts to Mr. Sands. Lisa even makes the observation that Starshine freaks out when Mr. Sands arrives. And look at this, look what Starshine says here. Keep that man away from me. Even in the stable afterwards when Lisa fails to heal Starshine, it's not because Sabine shows up, but Mr. Sands. Sabine doesn't actually do any harm in this scene, and the only thing she's guilty of is being a bully. Okay, so what about the other scenes then? When Sabine locks the Soul Riders in the stable, she says it herself. I can't let you do this. If the teachers or your parents find out, they'll go crazy. Stay here and let the police take care of this. I assume all of us thought she was doing this as a member of Dark Corps to prevent them from freeing Starshine, but it's possible that she was being genuine in this moment. And even if she wasn't, think about it. She wants nothing more than to win the tournament, and her greatest competitor just lost her horse. It all pays out in her favor. She has everything to win and nothing to lose. And then, what about the woods? It's never revealed that Sabine is the person underneath the cloak. We only assume that it is because the horse looks like Khan and because it's her in SSO. But really, this might as well be Katya and Stalker. After all, it's the same horse model. And come to think of it, Sabine never even shows any signs of magic. We see Katya using her mind control powers, and we see Jessica injuring Concord. Sabine, on the other hand, never does anything like that. It's Mr. Sands who injures and captures Starshine, it's Mr. Sands who shows up at the industrial complex, and it's Mr. Sands who's mentioned in the news articles. Mr. Sands was the villain all along and Sabine was just a mislead. She was innocent! And by the way, did you also know that Sabine is the only one who makes a cameo later on? In episode 2, she competes in Linda's show jumping tournament, and in Star Academy, Herman says she's on vacation with her family and that she otherwise would have been in charge at the stables. In other words, she's just going about her life as if nothing happened. Because to her, nothing did happen! Seriously, I can't believe it took me 16 years to realize this. Which makes it even more of a plot twist. No, seriously, this changes everything about Starshine Legacy and about Sabine as a character. And speaking of which, if you by any chance feel stupid for not realizing this, just keep in mind that Star Stable didn't realize this either. I mean, in retrospect, they did her dirty in SSO. This girl just wanted to win the tournament and ended up in a cult instead. No, all jokes aside, that sounds like a really interesting story. But to summarize this theory, the team played everyone, including themselves. Anyway guys, that's everything I had for this theory. I want to know from you guys, do you think that this is the case, that Sabine was innocent in Starshine Legacy? Or am I way off here? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, I'll see you around. Bye!